The Columbus City Council meeting for February 17th, 2026 will now come to order. In compliance with the Open Meeting Act, a copy of this act is posted in this meeting room. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Bulkley.
Here.
Alarcon. Here. Barr.
Here.
Hemer.
Here.
Jablonski.
Here.
Lopez. Polensky.
Here.
Roth. Schilling.
Here.
Mayor Bulkley, the roll has been called.
Thank you. Mr. Council President.
Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted to this governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other, as well as to all our citizens. Amen.
Amen.
Can you see by the dawn's early through the night that our flag was still there? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. I welcome everyone to tonight's City Council meeting. If at any time during our meeting this evening, anyone in our audience would like to address the council for any item on our agenda, we'd ask that you please come forward, give your name, your address, and we'd ask that you keep any comments to 5 minutes or less. All right, with that, we'll move on to the consent. Well, let me start by welcoming Betsy Eckhart. Our city administrator is off doing some things this evening, and we also have a couple of council members not with us tonight. So we're a little short staffed, but we'll move forward. Go ahead, Betsy.
Okay, the following is considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a City Council member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. 4A, minutes of the February 2nd, 2026 City Council meeting. 4B, resolution number R26-22, approving agreements with the American Legion Hartman Post 84, Columbus Mariners Baseball League, Columbus Youth Baseball League, Columbus Youth Softball Association, Columbus Area Youth Football Organization, and Columbus Soccer Club Incorporated for the use of city facilities. 4C, resolution number R26-23, authorizing payments of various improvement projects. 4D, payroll and bills on file. Mr. Mayor and Council, is there anything you'd like removed from the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, move the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. We move on to special presentations. We have two this evening, the first being a proclamation. I would like to read the following proclamation in recognition of Government Communications Day, Communicators Day. Whereas government communicators lead the charge in public outreach and education campaigns when their agencies is navigating issues like rate increases approval because communication is key in these moments. And whereas communicators are the creative mind behind media advisories and press releases and highlight videos when their agency achieves an award, making sure the spotlight shines on their agency and the accomplishments of their coworkers. And whereas when crisis strikes or news outlets come knocking, communicators are the strategic force handling responses, preparing talking points, and ensuring a newsworthy approach because their agency's voice matters. And whereas, as the architect of communication plans, communicators steer the ship in promoting behavior change and educating the community on crucial topics like environmental impact, land use changes, or budget matters, because informing and engaging the public is their jam. Now, therefore, I, James B. Bulkley, Mayor of the City of Columbus, Nebraska, do hereby proclaim February 20th, 2026, Government Communicators Day in Columbus, Nebraska, in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism are essential to ensuring that our city and citizens remain informed and engaged. Matt is here this evening, and certainly we all know he is our communicator to the public. And Matt, I'd like to award you this on behalf of the city and the city council.
Thank you.
And thank you for the job you do, and we appreciate it. All right, we'll move on to our second presentation this evening, which is a presentation by Keep Columbus Beautiful on the Greatest American Cleanup Pledge. Vanessa, the audience is all yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vanessa Oseguera, as Mayor Bulkley had just stated. Address is 4611 13th Street, and again, with Keep Columbus Beautiful. So I had a meeting with Tara, about a week or two ago in regards to the Greatest American Cleanup. And she asked that I come and present some information to you guys. If you are not aware, America, the country, is going to be celebrating celebrating 250 years, so their 250th birthday of the United States. And that celebration will take place July 4th of 2026. And there are tons of things that are happening across our great nation in regards to this big, spectacular moment. Keep Columbus Beautiful is a smaller affiliate of Keep America Beautiful, and so Keep America Beautiful has the very ambitious goal of picking up 25 billion pieces of litter all across the U.S. We here in Columbus would love to support that mission. We're obviously not going to gather 25 billion pieces of litter. Hopefully we don't even have that much. But I would like to, create some challenges for the residents of the city of Columbus and also for Platte County. And with your guys' pledge today, hopefully maybe after this we could get that signed. But we would love that the city of Columbus would support this mission, and we would like to have individuals here in the community have the goal of picking up 250 pieces of litter individually. And so while taking this pledge, there are some requirements that are needed from the city of Columbus. I'll kind of read them off to you. It's nothing super crazy. You don't have to commit to anything outlandish. There's no dollars that are needed for this project. And so one of the very first one is to get the local government involved and to declare support for Keep Columbus Beautiful, and then also helping build momentum behind our challenge, which is the 250 pieces for area individuals. Next is to encourage the city of Columbus to apply for recognition as a Keep America Beautiful A250 Community of Distinction. They announce 25 of those communities every quarter, and they have been doing so since July 4 of 2024. So there's lots of communities involved already. And then just help to activate existing volunteers and engage new volunteers for the Greatest American Cleanup 250. That is truly all of the requirements that are required for the city of Columbus. I think it's something fairly simple. And then with that pledge and the support, we are able to apply for some grants that we plan on utilizing to help some of the upcoming beautification projects that are going to be taking place in 2026. Does anyone have any questions?
So when we get this 25 billion pieces of trash, then we have to put them into our transfer station, and then is that a cost, or is that
No.
reimbursed, or what did we, I mean?
Nope, so with the grants that I plan on applying for, the 25 billion is for the US. We're not gonna get that. I don't know that our transfer
Think
station can
big.
handle that, but.
Think big.
So, no, it will be, the grants and stuff that we plan on applying for will be like, supplies will be written into that, so we can provide residents with all of the supplies that they need to gather that stuff, and then they can just throw it away at home. There's not gonna be any, like I said, any financial
You
support.
won't have a day set aside where
No.
everybody brings their trash in and,
Not unless you want us to.
Well, how are you going to account for it, though? I mean, is it on the honor system that
So,
everybody's going to say?
I had discussed that with Tara too. She was going to reach out to a couple of departments in the city to see what a lot of communities around the state are doing is there's this fairly large banner that's usually in the community's library. And so once an individual has gathered 250 pieces of litter, there's like this QR code that you can go on that says you took the pledge, you picked up 250 pieces of litter, and then you go to your local library and you sign this banner that stated that you did it. And so that's a kind of a metric system. It is based on honor. And so then you can just see how many individuals had signed that banner, and you can kind of tell how well your program did.
Okay. Questions?
So are we looking for fraternal organizations to help? Maybe pick a Saturday and do downtown or?
Yep, so that's actually gonna be my job. So I have already been reaching out to businesses, local organizations, service groups, and then even like homeowner associations that we are going to provide supplies to, so that way they can pick a day in their little area or their little market, I guess you could say, to promote their event and then also participate. And those larger scale events, there is a reporting metric that I can provide them some paperwork that's fairly simple that will signify how much debris and or litter they picked up in their areas.
Because I know a lot of times people probably have seen groups doing roadside cleanups. And I guess from what you're saying, I kind of envision this as a citywide roadside cleanup.
It truly is going to be, but it takes place during any time that is convenient for either that organization, business, and or group.
Okay. So you're looking for just the blessing of the city council? What are you after exactly this evening, Vanessa?
I just need your signature on a board.
Well, I put my signature on a lot of things, so I mean.
That just provides your commitment on behalf of the city of Columbus that you guys are going to support Keep Columbus Beautiful in this greatest American cleanup campaign.
Unless any council members here this evening are opposed, I would have no problem putting my signature on and be happy to be a part of this great American cleanup.
Sheree, do we need a motion?
If you guys want to.
That'd be helpful. I make that motion that the mayor put his autograph on the pledge.
Take a second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Just keep us informed, please.
Will do.
All right, all those in favor
Thank you.
signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. All right, we'll move on to public hearings this evening.
7A Public Hearing Application for Cushing Terrell on behalf of Les Schwab Group Holding LLC to rezone property located in Lot 1 and 2, Les Schwab subdivision from RR Rural Residential District to B2 General Commercial District, and to amend the future land use map of the comprehensive plan northeast corner of 23rd Street and East 11th Avenue, continued from January 19th, 2026 meeting. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here this evening that would like to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here this evening that would like to speak for this public hearing? Answered that question.
Good evening, Emily Herbert from Baird Home Law Firm, 1700 Farnham Street, Omaha. I'm just here to, again, answer any questions that anyone has about the rezone application.
Any questions from any council members? I know this did move through the planning and zoning, and I don't believe there were any issues or problems that were brought forward. All right, I
Great.
believe,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed. Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to ordinance.
Ordinance number 26-03, approving rezoning.
Mr. Mayor, I move the rules be suspended and ordinance number 26-03 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 26-03 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 26-03.
I move ordinance number 26-03 be adopted.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 26-03. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
7B, public hearing redevelopment plan for Keys Redevelopment LLC, redevelopment project, redevelopment area number 3, located southeast of the intersection of 15th Street and 45th Avenue. Applicant has requested this public hearing be continued to March 16th, 2026.
Do you want a motion to do this? All
Mr.
right.
Mayor, I move the public hearing be continued to March 16th.
Second.
26.
We have a motion and a second to continue this public hearing to March 16th, 2026. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Okay, 7C, public hearing, activities of Nebraska Department of Economic Development regarding downtown revitalization grant 23-DTR-003.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Is there anyone here to speak for this public hearing? Well, no, wait a minute, we do have one.
This is a requirement. I have
She
to,
has it.
I have to kind of give you an update on where we are on the project. The city of Columbus was awarded CDBG downtown revitalization funds of $435,000 to implement a downtown revitalization project to provide rehabilitation of privately owned commercial properties occupied by business tenants and/or commercial property owners in downtown district in the city of Columbus, as well as removal of architectural barriers and accessibility for downtown sidewalks. The city planned on using $400,000 in funding for commercial rehab. $200,000 of this came from CDBG funding, and $200,000 would be coming in the match provided by the participating Columbus downtown businesses. The city was also using $250,000 in funding for ADA clearance sidewalks, $200,000 in CDBG funding, with the additional $50,000 in a match from the city. An additional $25,000 in CDBG funds were to be used for general administration, and another $10,000 in CDBG funds to be used for construction management, which brought the total project cost to $685,000. To date, $48,643.38 has been used for commercial rehab. $114,355.58 has been used for sidewalk improvements. $10,000 has been used for construction management, and $25,000 has been used for general administration of the grant. No persons, businesses, or farms were displaced as a result of this CDBG activity.
All right, any comments or questions to Jean in regards to her information? In summary and English, you happy with how this is all going on and the program and the process?
We've had a few hiccups this year. A lot of businesses were wanting to make improvements and have run into some issues with the State Historical Society. So we've had 2 applicants pull out from the program because of the requirements the State Historical Society was putting on them. But I am to date, we have actually, even though all of the projects aren't completed, we've actually awarded $117,895. And so we have about 82,000 left. You have an application to consider tonight. And then I have 3 business owners that are looking at doing a group project. And so that should, take us down to almost zero, if not past zero. So, we're starting to gain a little bit more momentum. So I'm hoping we can just get projects past the State Historical Society.
So just a question in general, without going into detail, maybe you can't, but from the State Historical Society, I mean, what's the pushback? Is it, is it an old building that needs to get repaired a specific way, or?
Well, since our downtown is considered a historical district, the entire downtown is, we have 101 historical buildings with significant architecture. And so when the State Historical Society looks at that, if you're one of those 100 buildings, 100-plus buildings, they look at you with a finer eye than they would if you have a building that doesn't have historical significance. So some of the problems that our business owners are running into, one business wanted to put a new sign up, take down the awning that they had. Well, the awning that they had was wood slatted, and they were going to have to put wood slat back. And because of the style of business, they would have preferred doing clay tile because it would have matched the building better. But because the clay tile had never been on that section of the building, the State Historical Society wouldn't let it go. And so we're running into things like that.
That's a committee that'd be good that I'm not on.
It's one
Gene-
individual, so.
Gene, is the administrative fees, is that through the Northeast Economics? That's their
Yes.
their fee to us? Thank you.
Yeah, they usually, once we approve the grants and they go through the contractor talks and paperwork and all of that stuff. And so they handle all of the employment type of information so that we don't have to.
So how does your time get reimbursed?
It doesn't.
Okay.
All right, any other questions for Gene in that regard? Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to reports of city offices.
9A, update of the Nebraska Department of Transportation Loop River South Bridges project. Rick?
Mr. Bogus.
So it's going pretty well. If you remember, in the past, we've talked about this environmental commitment and that from March 1st to August 1st, they can't work in the river with any vibratory equipment for various reasons. So obviously that March 1st is coming up here pretty soon. But what's good to report is that they've gotten what they've needed done before March 1st. So, the piers are in, you see the girders are in over the river part of it. And so they're setting really clean and doing really well there. So we're happy about that. They'll continue to do the piers. Some of them were placed off of the northbound, or the one-way, I should say, each direction bridge. So there were a couple of times where the road was stopped, but it wasn't for more than like maybe 10 minutes each time. But however, the rest of the girders won't need to do that. They'll come off that temporary bridge. Also, there's been icing in the river, so there has been some icing around that, the bridge structure, the temporary bridge. But the contractor followed what they said they would do in the emergency action plan, did some ice breaking up and removal, and it really hasn't caused any problems. So overall, it's been going well, like I said, and they're on schedule.
Any questions for Rick? All right, appreciate it, Rick. Thank you very much.
9B, Columbus in Focus General Administration.
I'll move up here for this one. Columbus in Focus, Matt Lindberg kind of explained the program to you at the last council meeting. I am part of the General Services leadership team, and so I will be talking to you about what we're doing. The General Services team is made up of Jerry Hopkins, who's the library director, Matt Lindberg, who's the public communications manager, Sydney Marachek, who's the Parks and Rec director, and then myself, Jean Van Yperen, who's the planning and economic development coordinator. we hold meetings on a regular basis, and during these meetings, we look at ways that we can improve things that we are doing as a community, as a city government, and as departments. And so one of the things that we look at are projects that will help with the strategic plan that was created by the city. And so the first area I'm going to talk about is the efficient delivery of city services. We are concentrating on 4 different areas currently: the development and to develop and maintain informational resources which are easily accessible to the public. So we're looking at our website pages very closely, making sure everything is up to date, making sure our fact page is all current and everything. We also, since we do a lot of the programming within the city, as far as classes, educational type of things, we also have the art gallery in this area. We're looking at a program or a system to audit the programs that we are conducting. We want community input from this, and so we will probably be conducting end-of-program surveys from the public so that we can find out what we're doing right, what they want to see improved, or what they want to see brought to the community that we currently are not providing. We also are looking, we're reviewing all of our policies and procedures and identifying and implementing efficiencies there. And Matt is working on creating a social media best practices guide that we will all agree to. In the area of community relations, Matt's working on a master communications plan so that we all are putting out the same type of message in the same format and all of that, so that people, when they see something, will know that it's coming from the city. As I said, since we're a service team that does a lot of the programming for the community, we have Beats and Eats, we have the Parks and Rec, the softball, the soccer, all of that. We have the sculpture and mural walk downtown. We have our classes, educational type of classes. And so we're looking at ways that we can collaborate within our departments to make those tax dollars stretch further. And then, like I said, we're doing department collaboration. And through this, we're hoping to increase public engagement opportunities. That would be like the public being able to come and speak to the council at different events, or talking to the department heads, or the department heads going out to certain organizations presenting our programs. We also are looking at increasing our participation within the community. A lot of, when we talk about collaboration, is looking at how we can work with existing businesses in Columbus so that we can, because a lot of those businesses provide services, provide education, but they don't have the reach that the city has sometimes. And so we're looking at ways to collaborate with them. We're also looking at a specific community outreach program. The one that we have kind of taken hold of is the Kind Columbus Days, which is set for Tuesday, April 28th. And it's a day where the community will focus on kindness, generosity, and connection. And at its core, it's about creating that ripple effect of goodwill, something that aligns perfectly with our civic pride and our community wellness, as well as our strategic goals. And the goal of this particular project is to create a massive wave of kindness, providing that small acts, when multiplied, can truly change a community. So some of the ideas that we've come up as a group, that other organizations, we will be reaching out to other organizations to take part in this day. So some of the ideas that we've come up with is like planting a tree, or just surprising a neighbor with a treat, or volunteering an hour with a local group, doing chalk art messages on the sidewalk, drawing a picture for somebody, visiting somebody in the home who may not get a visitor, buy the coffee for the person behind you, open a door for somebody or pick up trash. So this would fit in really well with Keep Columbus Beautiful. I jotted that down on my notes, so we will probably have a group teaming up with her, I hope. So that's kind of what we're doing in a nutshell. So I thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, myself or any of the team members would be more than happy to answer them for you.
Council members, any questions for Jean or other team members?
Process of communicating this out to the general public.
Pardon?
Your process that you're going to get this out to the general public, how are we going to do that? Have you looked at that?
Any of our messages, we usually, anything that we send out usually goes through the media, goes through Matt, the media department. He puts it out usually to the Columbus Telegram. It's usually on the radio. We have it on our Facebook page, our website, and those types of things. So we would just start doing a lot more of that. But one of the things when you collaborate with existing businesses within your community, you can do that cross promotion where we're promoting it, but then the business that we're partnering with is also promoting it to their customers. So we're hoping we can get a little bit further reach through a lot of those programs.
Good.
And I would think as you get into maybe a specific event that's coming up, you maybe can even reach out to some of the service groups. They're always looking for
Yep.
somebody to come, give a talk on what's happening in the community, and that also helps spread the word and get it out, so. yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Any other questions for Jean? All right, thank you very much, appreciate it. All right, we'll move on to reports of council committees.
Item 10A, Committee of the Whole, February 17th, 2026. 10A1, City Council or City of Columbus Recognition Program. The committee recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move the report be adopted.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt this committee report. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to new business.
13A, application from Clark Grant on behalf of Dr. Jeffrey Gottschall and Tammy Gottschall for a preliminary plat of J.C. and T.L. Gottschall Second Subdivision, west side of 26th Avenue and 33rd Street. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I move the preliminary plat of J.C. and T.L. Gottschall Second Subdivision be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
13B, request from the Columbus Soccer Club to remove the sponsorship wall and extend the sidewalk at Wilderness Park. Park Board of Commissioners recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, move the request to remove the sponsorship wall and extend the sidewalk at Wilderness Park be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
Can we have someone tell us what we're doing here? Or maybe the public. Let's let the public know what we're doing.
Yeah, so the sponsorship wall, I think there was some confusion at first that it was a donor wall, but the sponsorship wall is, they use this wall for yearly sponsors. And I don't think they remember the last time that they've used it. Some of the businesses that are on there currently aren't even businesses anymore. So they want to remove that wall and then expand that sidewalk for the use of food trucks for like their big events. But how they do yearly sponsors now is they do those banners. I think there's photos that are attached that you can see kind of how they promote those yearly sponsors.
The other thing that they're doing, so that board we're talking about, the one side of it was a glass enclosed area that you could post things on, and it hadn't been used in years, and it looks terrible. It's weathered and it's mildewed, and it's basically shot. And so the thought was, they want to get rid of that, they want to make more of a sidewalk. The thought would be during major soccer tournaments, they'd be able to bring a food truck in or something like that to help stimulate even more activity out there. The concern was brought up about the donor wall and wanting to make sure that the original donors, because I think sometimes we lose sight of the fact that certain people really help make something happen. And they need to, that needs to remain, and that is going to remain. They have that donor wall or plaque that's going to be there. So that was a concern I actually had, and I brought it up. And the park board and the group did a very good job of identifying that and talking about it. So I think all in all, it's going to be handled very well. Cost is, it's being done. I mean, I think, we're maybe Tom Eck will take out his Bobcat and take it down, but the concrete itself, the getting done, will be done by the group. So it's just, to me, it's an improvement of the Wilderness Park for the future. Any other comments or thoughts? I didn't mean to sell it. I was just trying to explain it. All right, we have a motion or do we have yes, we do. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
13C, sole source quote from Electric Pump in the amount of $74,790 for control system upgrades for 18 sewer lift stations, reallocated CIP number 21-81.
Mr. Mayor, move the quote from Electric Pump for lift station control system upgrade be accepted.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve this purchase. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
13D, proposal for Digital Alley in the total amount of $227,809.50 for a 5-year contract extension for body and in-car camera services for the police department. This item is to be removed from the agenda. It's a recommendation.
Mr. Mayor, I move the item be removed from the agenda.
We have a motion and a second to remove this item from the agenda. Any discussion? And I guess I would start by making sure the public understands. The reason for removing this from the agenda is we kind of got the cart, before the horse here. There's a couple more steps that need to go through before the final approval of these dollars are spent, which is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. This will be back in front of the council within either the next meeting or the following one. So it's just a procedural situation. Okay? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
13E, comments from the mayor and city council members. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, no discussion can be held on this item.
Do we have any council members with comments this evening? I have no comments either this evening, so we'll move right on to resolutions.
14A, resolution number R26-24, adopting the City of Columbus Recognition Program.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution number R26-24 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R26-24. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
14B, resolution number R26-25, authorizing the mayor to sign the letter of funding commitment to the United States Department of Transportation for the better utilization investments to leverage development grant application.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution number R26-25 be adopted.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R26-25. Any discussion?
We just explain this to the public, how we would utilize this leverage?
Sure. So what this stems from is the Safe Streets for All Act. If you remember, we did that study and we're kind of completing up that study, and it was all based on looking at the comprehensive around the community, looking at where our unsafe areas are. And so there were, if you recall, there were like 3 or 4 different areas of town, that kind of popped out as being unsafe. And one of those segments was this Howard Boulevard segment from 33rd Avenue to 23rd Street. And what that is, what we had was a study grant, okay? So now that's going to cost a lot of money to implement the safe and redo all those road sections, okay? So there's some federal grants out there that we're applying for, and this is one of the federal grants that we're applying for, this BUILD Act. And so it's all based on, again, off that safety. If you recall from the Safe Streets for All, we had a stakeholders group, we had the public input, we've had your input, we've had staff input. And so it's all kind of based on that. So this money would be used for reconstruction of Howard Boulevard in that segment. And if you also recall, if you were here in 2020, we did a thin asphalt lift at that time, hoping that that would stick around for 7 to 10 years. Well, that's coming close. And so it's kind of good timing. So this is more a grant to get the money to implement the construction of that. There would be several opportunities yet to, this is just kind of the letter of commitment, so we're asking for today. It has to be designed yet, so that would come with some more public meetings, stakeholder group meetings, meetings with you, meetings with the Department of Transportation. We have a DOT city program agreement we'd have to, approve and all that. But this right now is getting that process moved forward and asking for a letter of commitment from the city for this grant.
It's a great example of where you got to jump through a lot of hoops and ask for certain things and make sure you apply for things to get the funding that's available. Is that right?
Yeah, you do, exactly. And what we're also doing is working with the DOT. They have an infrastructure hub is what they call it, which helps communities like ourselves get these federal grants, and that's at no cost to us. And so they have a consultant too that works with us, and we've worked with them for a couple of months to do everything like you just said, A to Z and everything in the right order to help us out, try to get this grant.
I mean, I often hear, you're doing a study, you're doing another study, you're doing another study. We do all kinds of studies. This is a great example where you got to do a study to qualify for the grants, and you got to apply for the grants so you get money to help offset the cost. So there is a reason you've got to jump through the hoops the way you do many times.
Correct.
And it takes time. So, I appreciate that. Thank you for the explanation. Any other comments or questions regarding item 14B? All right, we have a motion and a second to approve Resolution R 26-25. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
14C, Resolution Number R26-26, awarding community development block grant funds in the amount of $30,000 to Steve Lloyd's Rentals LLC for downtown revitalization.
Mr. Mayor, move that resolution number R26-26 be adopted.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution Number R 26-26. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to ordinances on their first reading.
15A, ordinance number 26-04, amending the fiscal year 2025-2026 pay plan.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the rules be suspended and ordinance number 26-04 be read by number only.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 26-04 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none. Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess, if that position were to be filled again, Rick, what would be the plan then? Since we're adjusting all these other,
So we had an assistant city engineer position, and he had left to take another job. And so we had a lot of things going and starting that helped with our efficiencies and things that we keep ongoing. And I didn't want to lose that because that's really helped out our department. And so what this is kind of a little reorganization of our department. And so some of those responsibilities went to the engineering coordinator position, which is on here, and the designer drafter. Okay, and then a lot of it comes back to me. So what the position would be that we'd go out for would be back a project engineer, not an assistant engineer, but a project engineer. And so it would be, that level I think that we need now that we got some of this work going, coordinating going. I need more of a project engineer than like an assistant city engineer at this time. And I guess the bottom line for everybody knows is it's not an increase in any, if I got one tomorrow, it's not an increase in labor cost to the engineering department. So it would be back to the project engineer that we had before, which is a lot more designing and workload than what the assistant city engineer was really doing.
Good. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second to read this ordinance by number only. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 26-04.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of ordinance number 26-04.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 26-04. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Meeting adjourned. We will continue with our next meeting here very quickly, and everybody gets their computers up and going. So hang with us.